right, guys, welcome back to Undisputed Interviews. I'm the host of Undisputed Interviews, Trace. I figured we'd just be different. The interviews, it's been a little more difficult to get, but I still want to put content out there for y'all. So I figured we would break down the Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg UFC Mexico card this weekend. Maybe we do this a weekly thing. Do this as a weekly thing. If not, also cool. But let me know how y'all feel about this. I'm wearing the hat. My barber messed up my haircut, so that's that. But anyway. First fight on the card, Markel Maderos versus Austin Hubbard. Markel Maderos, I believe he's 10-1. No, he's 9-1. He's 1-0 in the UFC. He beat Landon Quiones, which is not a bad win. It was over a year ago though, and he's facing Austin Hubbard, who he's fought some good guys. Fought the likes of, let's see, I know Alexander Hernandez, Kurt Holloway. He's also had two stints in the UFC, which is interesting. Vince Pichel. But I mean, he's very average. I mean, he's 17-8. Markel is 9-1, so Hubbard does have the veterans advantage. But I feel like Markel Maderos is gonna get this one done. I'm gonna say 29-28 decision. I could see 30-27. Maybe one judge throws in all three rounds for Maderos. Austin Hubbard is very, he's not bad. He's not a bad fighter. He's just, I don't know how to describe him. He's very like good and bad at the same time. Like he's very mid at everything he does. He's not special at anything. I believe 3 fights ago he was submitted. So that's not that best of a look. I mean, he went toe to toe with Alexander Hernandez though, so maybe that makes it a little better. But I just don't see a good path to victory for him. This fight is at elevation, so maybe if Medeiros tires out halfway through round 2 or the beginning, we could see Austin Hubbard take the second and the third. But I feel confident in Medeiros to just stick at range, throw the jab, 1-2 to the body, or like 1 to the head, 2 to the body, and kind of just keep him at range and walk him down for 15 minutes and probably get, I'm gonna say 30-27 decision or a 29-28 decision for Ricardo Medeiros. Second fight on the card, Jamal Emmers versus Gabriel Miranda. Not a bad fight. This fight is short notice. Gabriel Miranda is just, he was knocked down his last fight by Morgan Charrier. Obviously, we just saw Charrier kind of get dismantled by Nathaniel Wood. Jamal Emmers, he's not bad. He's not a bad fighter at all. He was destroying what's his name? Nate Landwehr on the feet in the first round. Ended up getting knocked out in the first round. But he's not bad. He's a rangy guy. He hasn't fought in pretty much a year though. Rangy guy, sticks to jab a lot, got power in the backhand. Knocked out Dennis Bazookian, went to a split decision with Jack Jenkins, which he arguably could have won. And then Nate Landwehr, he was piecing up before tiring out or gassing out. I don't know what happened. Maybe he got hurt, but he ended up getting knocked out with like 17 seconds left in the round. As for the prediction, I'm picking Jamal Emmers by KO. Round 1, I'm going to say. Miranda does not have good striking. His submission, he's got good submissions. I won't lie. But we've seen Jamal Emmers be able to fight off submissions and not really get caught in them or overextend himself in the submission. Let's see, Miranda is 1-2 in the UFC. And his only win is to a nobody. So I feel Miranda is probably going to get knocked out and probably get cut from the UFC. Hopefully I'm wrong though. Miranda seems like a good guy. I mean, he's got 16 wins by submission. He's 17-7. So that's definitely could be a problem for Emmers, but I feel that Jamal Emmers will probably get this KO round 1, maybe round 2, depending on how safe Miranda plays it, depending on the defense. But Jamal Emmers doesn't have the best striking defense as well, so I don't know. I don't know what Miranda could really do to the feet. Do on the feet with Jamal Emmers. I feel Jamal is just way better on the feet, so I'm gonna go Jamal Emmers KO round 1 or 2. Third fight on the card, we're gonna go. Let's see. Oh, Rafa Garcia versus Vince Pichel. Not a bad fight. Both men up there in age. Pinchel's like 42 or something. Rafa Garcia's like in his like late 30s, mid 30s. It's not a bad fight at all. Both men definitely have talent. Rafa Garcia's coming off getting destroyed by Grant Dawson, but at the end of the day, that is Grant Dawson. And Vince Pincel is coming off losing to Ismail Bonfim, who's a he's a okay lightweight prospect. He's had his ups and downs. But Pincel was mostly dominating that fight. The betting odds are like, dude, minus 500 for Rafa Garcia. I disagree. I think Rafa will win. I'm gonna say 29-28 decision because Rafa has an okay gas tank, but he does tend to tire out in the third. And Pinchel actually has a pretty good gas tank for his age. So I could definitely see Rafa maybe probably taking rounds 1 and 2, and then after that, gassing out a little bit, and Pinchel maybe takes the third, maybe knocks him down, probably gets a takedown or something to secure the round. But I like both men. I think Rafa Garcia, I think he's still pretty good for his age. I don't think he's like getting worn out. I don't think his age is really showing that much unless he fights someone like a Grant Dawson who is an amazing, amazing wrestler and just was able to take him down and brutalize him on the ground. I mean, he's beat what's his name? Clay Guida. Clay Guida, I don't even think he's in the UFC anymore. He's like old too. But at the end of the day, the win's a win. Rafa Garcia, I believe he's on like a 3-2. He's on a 2-fight win streak, both by decision. Against like okay competition. So but I believe or sorry, not Grant Dawson, Rafa Garcia. I believe he gets back in the win column. I'm gonna say split decision because we are in Mexico. We are. So I'll probably say unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. Rafa Garcia gets a cheap, good win. All right, next fight, Lupi Godinez versus Julia Palastri. Um, don't know why this is happening. Lupi Godinez she's ranked number 11. I think Palastri literally lost her last fight. I could be wrong. No, she won it against Corey McKenna, who's not even in the UFC. So, weird fight. Um, I think the obvious answer is Lupi Godinez. If she can make smart decisions and actually use some decent fight IQ, it's not really much to say. Lupi Godinez doesn't have the best fight IQ. She's winning fights on the feet and decides to wrestle and then loses. Julia Palastri, she's okay. She's got good submissions. She got four. Oh, okay, never mind. She's a 3-win by submission. But she's okay. She's 1-1 in the UFC. Lost her only losses. I mean, she lost to a girl that is even in the UFC. She's won against a girl who isn't even in the UFC. So she has no good wins. I'm gonna go Lupi Godinez 30-27 decision. I don't really care. Whoever wins, that's cool. Either way. Next fight, Christian Rodriguez versus Mikel Costa. This is a good fight. Christian Rodriguez is known as the prospect killer. Like beats all the good prospects that are up and coming. He's coming off a win on January 11th over Austin Bashi, beat Isaac Dolgarian, beat Raul Rosas Jr., beat Cameron Simon, all when they were prospects, and then lost to the bum Julian Rosa. So bit of a weird fighter. He was actually submitted in the first round, which makes it even worse. And he's fighting Mizel Costa, who just got a huge win over Andre Fili literally a month ago. A little over a month ago. Outstriking the striker on the feet and Andre Fili, and then submitted him with a guillotine in round one. So he definitely, a lot of people were thinking Mizel Costa wouldn't be anything, myself included, but I think he's really good. I think he has some good prospect or some good potential in the featherweight division. He is a prospect. This one's tough because Christian Rodriguez just somehow always loses the first round and then wins the last two. And Mizel Costa definitely showed some good improvements. But I'm gonna go Mizel Costa by submission in round. I want to say round 2, but I could also just see him not being able to find it. I'm gonna go Mizel Costa by submission. I don't know exactly what round, but Costa looked a lot better in the striking his last fight, as well as the submissions. I mean, we all knew he had good submissions, but being able to tap Andre Fili when it wasn't the guillotine really wasn't that locked in, he still got it, which is impressive over a guy like Andre Fili, who's a veteran who is not bad. He's not a bad featherweight. He's unranked, but he's pretty good. So I think that really just That really just gave him some momentum. I want to see if he can carry it on. I'm gonna side with Costa by submission though. Next fight, Jose Medina versus Tubageti Gutierrez. I don't know his name. I'm gonna go with Goodyear. Medina is not UFC worthy. He's like 0-2 or something in the UFC. Got completely destroyed by a dude that just lost in the first round. In his last fight, yeah, he's 0-1. Don't know why Medina's in the UFC. I think they're just using him to hype up this Gawiti. Wait, I don't know this dude, but this, yeah, I'm gonna go with the dude from Cameroon. I don't know how to say his last name. Gauter? I don't know, bro. Whatever your name is, sorry if I completely botched it. But I'm gonna go with Jose Medina getting knocked out in round two. He has a really good chin. He's never been knocked out. He has been submitted, but he's absolute dog shit. So I'm gonna go with Gauter. Whatever your name is, I'm gonna go with you. Next fight, feature prelim. Jesus, wow, that's crazy. Edgar Cyrus versus CJ Vergara. Why is CJ Vergara still in the UFC? I have no clue. I think he's won like one fight in the UFC and he's lost like seven. He has 6 losses. Let's see. He has 2 wins in the UFC, and both his wins, the guys aren't even in the UFC anymore, and he's been destroyed by literally every other fighter he's fought. And he's missed weight for like 3 of these. Oh, excuse me. He has 3 wins over. I've never even heard of that guy. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Edgar Showers by TKO. Edgar Showers almost stopped Joshua Van. He looked really impressive. I bet on Edgar Showers. Unfortunately, bro did not come through, but he was close. Yeah, I think he's not bad. I think he's pretty old, but I think he still has some potential in the UFC. And CJ Vergara, I don't know how he's still in the UFC. He must be like an incredibly nice kid. But I'm gonna go Edgar Chavez by TKO. I'm gonna go. He probably because Edgar Chavez does really good leg kicks. So I'm gonna say he probably drops Vergara with a leg kick and probably gets a ground and pound TKO round two, round one, round two. I'm gonna go Edgar Chavez. On to the main card. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Um, I'm gonna go Ronaldo Rodriguez. He's a good prospect at flyweight. He was almost beaten by Ode Osborne in the first round, which definitely isn't a good look. But he came back, won the last 2 rounds, almost finished Ode Osborne somehow, and within that same within the second round, it was a weird fight, fun fight though. He's fighting Kevin Borjas, who isn't bad. He's not a bad striker. He's honestly not bad. His 2 losses are to really decent competition in Alexandro Costa and I believe Joshua Van. I believe so. Yeah, Joshua Van. So definitely, Joshua Van's ranked. Alessandro Costa, I don't know where he is, but he's really good. So those aren't bad losses, not at all. But I'm gonna side with the momentum of Ronaldo Rodriguez. I'm gonna say Ronaldo Rodriguez gets a 29-28 decision. Probably, probably almost gets knocked out in the first round somehow, and then comes back and wins the last 2 rounds, like his last fight. Ronaldo has good grappling. He has good submissions. He's not bad on the feet at all. He has a 40. Oh wow, wow, wow. Borjas has an 89% KO rate. So that definitely isn't going to favor Ronaldo. But I'm going to trust him in somehow like surviving an early knockout and then somehow getting a decision. And we are in Mexico, so I'll probably favor Ronaldo. Even if a lot of people feel he loses, he'll probably get gifted a decision considering he's Mexican, and that's just how it works. Oh wow, Ronaldo Rodriguez is the favorite too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ronaldo Rodriguez by a very close decision. Next fight, David Martinez versus Simon Oliveira. Um, Not gonna lie, never heard of Simon Oliveira. Apparently he's been in the UFC for years, but he hasn't fought in like 2 years. I'm gonna go David Martinez by KO, round 2 or 3. I watched Martinez's contender series fight. He didn't look bad. He actually looked good on the feet. His grappling was okay. He ended up getting the win. So a win's a win. He got signed by the UFC. Obviously, Dana White saw something in him. Simon Oliveira, he's 33. He's not bad. He's not bad at all, to be honest with you. He's not really bad. Sorry, I keep looking at my computer, but he's not bad. I think his only problem is his layoff. He's 33. He's not even. I mean, he kind of is still in his prime, but not much. And he's coming back against David Martinez, who's a lot younger than him. I believe he's like 25 or something. Let me look. It doesn't even show me. Anyway, yeah, he's 25 or like 25 or something. But anyway, he's good. He's not bad at all. Let's see, how old is he? Try to check, bro. Jeez. He's 11-1. My thing is not loading. Anyway, yeah, Dave Martinez isn't bad. I don't know why my computer's not loading, but yeah, Dave Martinez isn't bad. Neither is Simon Oliveira. But I'm gonna go again. We're in Mexico. A lot of Mexican fighters. Dave Martinez is Mexican, so I'm gonna go with him getting the win in Mexico. TKO round 2 or 3 after like a semi-competitive fight. Next fight, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Vince Morales. This is an interesting one. Raul's good, right? He's 20 or like 19. He's really young. And Vince Morales isn't bad himself. Obviously, Raul's only loss is to Christian Rodriguez, who fluked a win over him. But that was almost 2 years ago. Raul was on a 3-fight win streak, 2 of them by finish. Morales lost his last fight like literally 2 months ago to a debuting guy. Don't know how he's still in the UFC. I'm honestly fine with it though. He's not bad. And Raul was a big favorite, 3-1 favorite. Morales, he's 16-9, 7 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. Almost submitted Elijah Smith his last fight, which would have been impressive. I'm gonna go Raul Rosas Jr. by decision. I'm actually gonna say 29-28, unanimous decision. Raul does kind of tend to slow down as the fight, not by a lot, but does tend to slow down when the fight, like the later the fight goes. So I can definitely see Raul outpacing him probably first, second round. Raul probably, loses the third round. Probably somehow one of the judges gift him the third round. But I'm going to go 29-28 decision for Raul Rosas Jr. So he would be on a 4-fight win streak. And Vince Morales, again, he's not bad. He was caught by the UFC. He was brought back. I believe he's like 0-2 since getting brought back. But he's fought Elijah Smith, who's a good prospect, and Taylor Lapulus, who's like not bad at all. He was cut from the UFC. Don't know why. I think his contract expired. But Taylor Lapulus is really good. And Vince Morales made it kind of competitive with him. Same with Elijah Smith. He made it competitive with him as well. So I'm going to go Raul Rosas Jr., but I wouldn't be surprised for an upset from Vince Morales. Featured fight the card. Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. I love Joe Pyfer. I think he's good. I think that main event he was in last year, his only loss in the UFC, was definitely a learning experience. He came back, knocked out Marc-Andre Barriault in the first round, like in less than 90 seconds. But can he knock out Kevin Gastelum? Kevin Gastelum has an amazing chin. I don't believe he's ever been TKO'd. I could be wrong, but I don't believe he's ever been knocked out. So that's a huge talking point. Gastelum goes between 170 185. He looks better at 170, but he eats too many tacos and can't make the weight most of the time. So he's probably stuck at 185. He won his last fight at 170 against Daniel Rodriguez, who isn't bad. He blocked me on Instagram, but it's okay. Daniel Rodriguez needs to unblock me. But I'm gonna go Joe Pyfer by KO. Call me crazy. I think Joe Pyfer can knock out Kevin Gastelum, but I think it'll have to be within the first round because Kelvin Gastelum does not have a bad gas tank at all. He actually has a really good one. He has a way better one than Joe Pyfer. Both men, I believe. I know Kelvin Gastelum trains at elevation, which this fight will be at elevation. I don't know if Joe Pyfer does. I believe he does. And he didn't even look bad in the main event. It was 5 rounds. He won the first 3 and lost. Excuse me. He won the first 2 and lost the last 3. But his gas tank didn't look horrible. But I do have to side with Gaslam for the gas tank. Yeah, I don't know. It's close. Wouldn't be surprised if Kelvin Gaslam wrestles and probably gives Joe Pyfer a little adversity, like earlier in the fight, or probably later in the fight. Honestly, he probably waits till Joe Pyfer gasses out his arms from striking a lot and goes to the wrestling. But I'll go Joe Pyfer by KO. I'm gonna say round 1 or 2. Joe Pyfer hits really hard. I can see him catching like Calvin Gossam throwing something. Pyfer like kind of intercepts it with another shot and knocks down Gaslam, gets the ground and pound TKO. So I'm gonna go Joe Pyfer by TKO. Co-main event of the evening: Manuel Torres versus Drew Dober. I was originally gonna go Drew Dober. I really like Drew Dober. I think he's good. But I was watching the MMA Guru, his predictions, and he said something valuable, right? Drew Dober's on a 2-fight losing streak. He hasn't won in over a year. His last one was by a dude that isn't even in the UFC anymore. And he says something that I didn't even realize. Drew Dober, when he's striking, he leads with his head before his hands. And Manuel Torres has nasty elbows and nasty punches. He's really good. I mean, but Manuel's coming off a KO loss. You don't want to fight Drew Dober after coming off a KO loss, but he's also coming off a TKO loss, so I don't really think it matters. And Manuel has good potential in this division. He has the reach advantage by 3.5 inches, and I honestly could see him TKOing Drew Dober. I could see Drew Dober trying to throw something. Manuel catching with a nasty elbow, nasty uppercut. Probably drops Drew Dober or maybe puts him out cold. Plus, Manuel, you're in Mexico. I'm hoping Mexico's like the Mexicans win since they're in Mexico, but maybe I'm wrong. But Drew Dober is a veteran. But I'm gonna side with the younger guy, Manuel Torres. I love Drew Dober, big fan of Drew Dober, but he's up there with age. I don't think he has the same chin he used to have. So I'm gonna go with Manuel Torres by TKO. Honestly, round one. I can see him catching Drew Dober really early. All right, we're on to the main event. Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. Love them both. Would love to see Steve Erceg get the victory. But I'm gonna go with the obvious answer. I'm gonna go with Brandon Moreno. I know he's the favorite. I'm pretty sure. If he's not, that would be crazy. It doesn't even show me. Anyway, Moreno's coming off a win, one win. After taking some time off. Steve Erceg's coming off 2 losses. He lost to Pantoja, the champion, in a razor close fight. He arguably could have won, but they're in Brazil, so I figured they're gonna give the decision to Pantoja. And then he fought Kai Car France back in August in Perth, where a lot of people thought he was going to win. A lot of people thought he was going to beat Kai Car France. Ended up making like literally one mistake that cost him the entire fight. Got knocked out in round one. So he's coming off a knockout loss. Moreno has really good striking. He's really good grappling, really good cardio, really good head movement, really good footwork. Moreno's really good. He's a former 2-time champion. He's only lost to the best, which is Pantoja and Brandon Royval, the top 2 guys in the division. And I don't see Steve Erceg beating him. I don't see Steve Erceg being able to handle the cardio and the striking and the grappling, just being able to handle everything Moreno brings to the fights. So I'm gonna go Moreno decision. I'm gonna say 49-46 across the board. Moreno wins 4 of the 5 rounds and gets the decision win. Probably calls out Pantoja for a 4th fight. Probably loses that afterwards, if we're being honest. But yeah, I'm gonna go Moreno decision. Wins 4 of the 5 rounds, pretty convincingly, maybe even 5. Connor's outclassing Steve Erceg for the majority of the fight. That is all, guys. That is my UFC Mexico Moreno versus Erceg breakdown and predictions. Let me know if y'all want me to do this every week. Maybe I have a guest on. Maybe I have like a UFC fighter on, or like one of my friends that knows MMA. Let me know in the comments. But appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all later.